Our first speaker is a known face. He's a man of information technology, efficiency, and professional discipline, having firm belief in inclusive as well as exclusive growth of the profession of accountancy. C.A.K. Raghu is the new Vice President of the ICAI for the term 2013-14. He has been continuously associated with ICAI for the past 21 years in various disciplines and capacities. He is here and he is going to light the ray of hope for all chartered accountants about various opportunities, options that we've got in the global arena.
Good afternoon, friends. The next 25 minutes would be an opportunity session. I will quickly take you through what's happening across the country, across the world, what's happening in India. It's a story that we build around what our chapters are doing. It's a story about what the institute is doing back home. And then I'll just pick up bits and pieces so that at the end of the presentation, both the presentations, you'll get to know what are the opportunities available for you, not only here, but way back in India. So that will be the flavor of the sessions. I hope you enjoy it. Having said this, I am really delighted that yes, the institute has about 22 chapters, out of which the most happening chapters are in the Middle East region. I think I've already said this. This is the profile of our branches. In the Middle East, Africa, we have Abu Dhabi, Bahrain, Botswana, Doha, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, Kenya, Kuwait, Nigeria, Oman, Riyadh, and Zambia. Most of the chapters are doing well, but yes, our chapters in Saudi Arabia need to do more activities. I've been interacting with the chairman to see that they come up to the scale of what Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Kuwait, and Muscat is doing. I'm sure way forward, we'll have a lot more action happening from these chapters also. But yes, a huge presence here. More than 10,000 chartered accountants operate in this space, the Africa, Middle East space. Then in Asia, we have Indonesia, Port Moresby, and Singapore. As I said in my inaugural address, Singapore is an happening chapter, more than 1,000 CAs. Australasia, Oceania, that is Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane. A lot of activity, a lot of CAs packing their bags and going to Australia. Yes, excellent lifestyle, challenging opportunities, and extremely good pay packages. Europe, we have a lot of activity happening in UK. North America, we have activity happening in Toronto and New York. So what I mean to say, when you're looking at opportunities, you should not restrict yourself to your space. You can travel around the world. I'm just giving you a big picture of where the opportunities are for all of you, so that if you decide to pack your bags and maybe go to some other zone, yes, this is where the action is. Then most of our chapters are doing a lot of good work promoting brand CA as a global brand, trying to see how best they could act as a gateway to promote career opportunities. We want more and more young professionals to come to these locations where there's a lot of demand for CAs. And one single point agenda for all the chairmen. Next year, I've already met them in Abu Dhabi when we had the conference recently. The one single agenda, what I have for all of them is to see how we can increase the head count to double maybe in the next 3 years. So we want to see more and more young professionals from India coming to these places and explore good career opportunities. And wherever we find that job opportunities are not there, we will try to go slow. But yes, we will be coming out with welcome kits, specific location-wise welcome kits. Like there'll be a welcome kit for a chartered accountant who wants to come to Bahrain as to what are the visa requirements, who are the members of the Bahrain chapter, what are the opportunities in Bahrain, what are the kind of pay packages available. And this electronic welcome kit could be downloaded by a young professional in India, and he could then decide to get in touch with any of our CA friends in Bahrain. So we want to promote career opportunities. And our certification courses have been a big success. Friends, what is very important is if you're looking for new opportunities as a global professional, you need to have skill sets in new areas. It could be forensic audit, it could be IFRS, it could be valuation. IFRS, we see a huge opportunity for our members because IFRS is one great thing happening around the accounting world. And once India gets onto the IFRS bandwagon, maybe 1st of April 2015, we see a huge lot of opportunities on the IFRS front in India. So for some reason you decide to come back to India, if you have the knowledge of working in the IFRS environment, I think you can get into very successful, because there's a huge dearth of talent in IFRS in India. And if you have a global experience or exposure in IFRS implementation, yes, there could be a huge career opportunity for you in India if the country becomes IFRS compliant. So we have certification course in IFRS doing very well in Dubai, Bahrain, and I've been given to understand the second course is happening here. And we also have a certification course on valuation. Forensic accounting and fraud detection, I've been given to understand, has created a lot of interest among the members, global professionals. And we see a great opportunity, and these certification courses have been very well designed. They've taken into requirements of what is required in the global arena. And we are also trying to fine tune and add modules that are relevant to the specific location. So I would urge you to pick up these certification courses, because what is very important, friends, if you're looking at a new career opportunity, if you're looking at a new zone to work with, you need to have additional skill sets on any of these new areas. And yes, we have a lot of MOUs that we have signed up with very many countries, because without MOU, you'll not be able to, operate there. Like for example, in Australia, we have a MOU with the CPA Australia and Institute of Chartered of Australia, where you can go there, you get exemption for all the subjects. You just need to write 2 subjects and you get a CPA Australia degree or an Institute of Chartered of Australia degree. The reason why we want you to know these MOUs and MRAs is that you should know what is the MOU that we have signed up with them, or the MRA we have signed up with them. So it's easy for you to pick up the local qualification and get into a, you're ready for getting into a job. We are also doing a lot of campus placement programs for the benefit of members. 24.64 lakhs is the kind of package that was offered by a company here at Kuwaiti, that's 10,800 Kuwaiti dinar. Then 21 lakhs was the next highest package offered in March, April 2013, and 16.7 lakhs in August and September. Mind-blowing salaries, and we see that it's growing fast. Abu Dhabi, about our chapter, doing extremely well. We have Paddy here, the chairman of the chapter, is doing a lot of work. A young team, dedicated team, putting in a lot of hard work to see that members of the profession go through CPD. And only one thing which I would like to compliment, I've traveled across the country. We have about 138 branches. But one thing which I find in the foreign chapter is that the kind of commitment what is there for the CPD programs is very high. I think that compliments to the chapters for the way in which they're organizing the programs. You go to Dubai, go to Abu Dhabi, come here, the kind of commitment all of you have demonstrated is extremely good. And I think you need to keep this in mind, that CPD now is mandatory for everyone. And in India, we find there's a certain segment of members, especially the practicing segment, who are very keen on completing their mandate requirements, but the members in industry are not doing it. The council has recently taken a decision that in case you do not comply with your CP requirements by the end of this year, 2013 December, your names will be hosted on the website of the institute. So what we have done is we have done a study of all the accounting regulators around the world. Some of the accounting regulators suspend your membership. Some of the regulators don't permit you to do an attest function. But India, we thought we shall go slow. We shall encourage members to comply with the CP requirements. You will receive letters from the institute as to what has been the credit up to date. In case you have a shortfall, we'll give an opportunity for you to complete the CP credits by the end of this year. And I only request each one of you to see that you comply with the CP requirements. And as far as Dubai is concerned, we have an office in the Knowledge Village. We have Mr. James Ravi, who's a regional director, who's also present here. We want to ensure that the members in the Gulf region, since we have more than 8,500 to 10,000 members here, we want a regional office. We have a regional director to take care of the interests there. Because in Dubai, we have articleship training that has opened up. We have examination happening, information technology training. A lot of activities are happening in Dubai, and so also other chapters. So we have an office there. And then coming to the IFRS training, which I said, it's been a big success. We have also done a lot of activities with the College of Banking and Financial Studies, Oman, on May 27, 2011. These are the major initiatives that we have done. IFRS in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, international taxation. International taxation is one area. There's a lot of opportunities I see, because today in a country like India, we have so much of investments coming in from various countries. And if you want to go back to India and you want to specialize or you want to get into a company, If you have the knowledge of international taxation, you can easily get yourself into a good job. Maybe even sitting here at Bahrain, your knowledge of international taxation would help if your company is foraying into multiple locations, and our international taxation course is extremely good. And this is what we are doing: examination centers, we're conducting GMCS, computers. We have more than 140 computer labs providing state-of-the-art training for the students. Because today in India, what we find that the whole entire spectrum is on a computerized mode. The entire banking industry is on core banking solutions. All the banks are networked with each other. You go to any corporate, you have ERP implementation happening. So we find there's a great opportunity for our young professionals to have the knowledge of technology to move comfortably. And our computer centers, 145 computer centers across the country, are providing the required skills for the young professionals to be tech savvy. Because we're not talking about cloud computing, information systems audit. And yes, when companies start moving the information to the cloud, you need to have the knowledge of how to audit in a cloud computing environment, how to face the cloud computing environment. That is what we plans to do. And a lot of plans for the Middle East. And we would request you to give your suggestions. I have in fact requested each of the chapter chairmen to give us what is their roadmap, what is it they expect from the institute. As I told you, we'd be very happy to collaborate with you, get your feedback, try to plan our activities for the foreign chapters, because generally when you go back to India, our focus is on the Indian market, because there's a huge 2.3 lakh chartered account, 230,000 CAs. Yes, we know that our overseas chapters also need some attention, and we have been trying to focus on them. We would want you to help us. Australia, as I told you, in Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane, this is where we are operating. And there's plenty of opportunities for chartered accountants there, and they're conducting a lot of activities. They're having a lot of webinars, knowledge management portals. There's a single window grievance mechanism for members and students. And we are, as I told you, we have partnered with the Institute of Chartered of Australia and the CP Australia also. And we have this mutual recognition, extremely successful. Today, if you see in Australia, out of 1,148 who have gone under the MOU, 686 have passed. That is the kind of thing what we have. Then we are also constantly in discussion with Australia to see how we can increase the head count. This is about Asia. Singapore is already said. London chapter of the Institute, yes, we see a lot of opportunities for our professionals, especially in the financial services space. Banks, insurance companies in London are looking for CAs. So if you have a fascination to work in the financial services space, yes, London is the right destination. We have a MOU with the Institute of Chartered of England and Wales, and we feel that this will help the members to get themselves into a job there. We also have a mutual recognition agreement with Ireland. And when it comes to Canada and the New York chapter, yes, these chapters are also doing a lot of activities for the benefit of the professionals. We're doing a lot of support to other countries like Nepal, Sri Lanka, Mongolia. We are trying to help them in their peer review mechanism. We are trying to help them in information systems audit. We're helping them to build a good examination system. We're working in Djibouti, Bahrain, Dubai, Oman. And Bhutan is recently, we had a MOU signed up in the recent international conference in Calcutta, where we'll be working with the accounting and auditing profession in the Bhutan. And what we are looking as members of IFAC, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is a member of IFAC. Globally, IFAC is the platform for all the accounting regulators, and we are playing a very active role in many committees. And friends, only one thing what is of caution for us is, with the increasing corporate frauds happening around the world, IFAC, there was a discussion paper as the relevance of the auditing profession itself. This is something which is a cause of concern for us, because accounting frauds are increasing. And we are discussing with various teams in IFAC as to how we need to build a credibility for the profession around the world. And today, a lot of new things are happening. We're looking at integrated reporting. Traditional reporting to integrated is a huge change, a paradigm shift. And we would like to take a role and see that how best we as an institute can, take the lead in integrated reporting. We're also strong in CAPA, Confederation of Asian Pacific Accountants, where we have all the accounting regulators there. Then we are also sort of working with, SAFA, South Asian Federation of Accountants. And we're doing a lot of work with the Japanese Institute of Certified Public Accountants, South African Institute of Chartered Accountants, Mexican Institute, and we continue to do this. And what we feel is, as an institute, we need to understand what are the, opportunities that are available to us across the world, so that, yeah, I think there is some problem in the next PPT. Meanwhile, you could just try to see it, or else I could manage it without the PPT itself. Basically, friends, when we talk about what the other opportunities for you, because what I see overseas members having come to Bahrain or having come to any of these countries would always have a question mark. What do I do if I want to go back to India? What are the opportunities available for me to India? So that is where we see a lot of action happening in the Indian front. In fact, my other presentation talked about the opportunities for our members in the Indian scenario. There we feel that there's a lot of opportunities for all of you there. Once you come back to India, you want to get into some new area. You might not be keen to get into audit, or you might not be keen to get into taxation, but yes, there are a lot of opportunities for you. One area where I feel all of you could get and start focusing is on technology consulting. Technology consulting, we have shortage of chartered accountants, professionals in India. And when you talk about technology consulting, we have chartered accountants who have the exposure to working in ERP environments to help Indian companies to migrate to an ERP environment. Today, we have very limited resources of chartered accountants who are having the exposure to SAP or Oracle. So in case you have the exposure to working in an ERP environment, there's an opportunity for you to consult on the technology space. Information systems audit, information system consulting, then the entire spectrum of filing today happens electronically in India. You take the income tax, the service tax, happens electronically. Then on the XBRL also, a lot of chartered accountants are required for assisting companies in the XBRL filings. So technology space is one space where you can start focusing from today. Let us say you start focusing on the various opportunities. So quickly, I'll take you through the opportunities for you in India. Talking about the Companies Act, a lot of action on the Companies Act today. I think you recently had a seminar. The entire accounting profession and the auditing profession in India has got a huge impact. We have voluntary revision of financial statements, compulsory rotation of auditors. We have cap on the number of audits. Chartered accountants cannot do more than 20 audits. And audit rotation happens once in 5 years for individual CAs and once in 10 years for firms. Fraud reporting, the concept of fraud reporting has increased. Today there's a huge responsibility on a chartered accountant in India to report on fraud. In case he doesn't report on fraud, there are a lot of stiff penalties, prosecutions on the chartered accountants. Yes, professional indemnity is what is required. We also have the National Financial Reporting Authority that is being set up as an oversight regulator, but it will be something similar to NACAS that is currently there. The formulation of accounting and auditing standards would continue with the institute, and NAFRA would just review it, notify it. And as I told you, the penalties are very high. And we see a great opportunity for chartered accountants in this particular space, because today what is really happening is that with the kind of professionals required in implementing the new Companies Act, you require chartered accountants to be on the board of independent directors of board of various companies. There's a great opportunity for our profession. Next. As I told you, we are completely ready with the new financial reporting standards. When we go around globally, countries like Pakistan have overnight adopted to IFRS. But India said, no, we're not going for adoption, we're going for convergence. Convergence, what we have done is we have gone through a robust standard setting process. We have taken all the financial reporting standards that has been pronounced by ASB. We have gone through a rigorous standard setting process. We have localized it to the Indian scenario, and we have come to the new set of standards known as Ind AS. Ind AS are the new financial reporting standards in India. It's very similar to that of the IFRS. But yes, we have the advantage of making the changes what is required, so that since India is a big country, a happening country, we thought we need to have some leverage for us to make the changes. And 2015 is what we have given a revised roadmap to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, because we are completely ready with the standards. All the standards have been hosted on the website. So once the ministry decides to notify, maybe a segment of companies, maybe the top companies in the country would have to adopt IFRS. In 2016, we have the next set of companies. We have given a roadmap to the ministry. Maybe 15 onwards, the next 3 years, you'll have the whole of the country adopting IFRS. And next. And XBRL is a big opportunity. As I told you, lot of regulatory filings are happening on XBRL today. The Ministry of Corporate Affairs have mandated companies to file on XBRL, and we are taking the lead to develop the taxonomy. There's a huge opportunity for chartered accountants who are good at taxonomy development, who are good at XBRL filings. Especially we find that XBRL data is in great demand in investment research firms, insurance companies require a lot of data on XBRL format. So XBRL is one big space for you to get into. The opportunities are very limited right now, but we see a huge opportunity coming in the next 3-4 years. And then these are some of the boards that are continuously working at the Institute to improve the audit quality, the peer review board, the financial reporting review board, ethical standards board, and the disciplinary committee. All the disciplinary committee have been put on fast track. 2007 and before, everything has been cleared. So we are working on all the cases from 2007 onwards. Continuing professional education, already I said for us this is the biggest challenge. 230,000 CAs going to CP in all the branches is a big task. Yes, but we have been extremely successful. These are the big things that will happen the next year. The next year we'll be focusing on the young professionals across the country because out of 230,000, 50% of them are young, below the age group of 35. We'll be focusing on the young professionals. And the second area which we'll be focusing on is the women. The women is about 25% of the membership are women CAs. The first 5 years we find that the women CAs are comfortable in their job. After 5 years they get settled down in the family. They quit the course. In the next 10 years become a checkered career for that. So we want to encourage flexi working for women in India. So we will be coming out with a portal where any woman who wants to work on a flexi basis, let's say 12 to 4, she can register on the portal. And any member firm across the country can always go there to the portal and identify, go to let us say Bangalore, identify Indiranagar, find out if Indiranagar how many CAs are, women CAs are downloaded. It's just to see. Our international conference was viewed by almost 70,000 people. That is a kind of, response we have for all our webcasts, our ICA TV and e-learning. And I would recommend you to join for, go to the ICA TV and see the kind of quality what we have for all our webcasts. We'll also have a knowledge management portal being developed. Maybe February it will be launched. All the knowledge resources of the institute will be available at the press of a button. You want to know something about LLPs, PPTs on LLP, your e-learning modules on LLP, your webcasts on LLP, everything will be available at one single shot. You'll also have a mobile application that will be launched in February. So you will have the information sent to you on a sort of a quick mode as to what is happening in India from the institute. And e-governance, we are launching an e-governance project, paperless office of the institute. It's taken a lot of time, but yes, HP and Infosys are working on this project. We would like to see that if you are a member sitting in Bahrain, you want to pay your membership fees, you'll be able to do it simple. Today, I find a lot of members, when I speak to Mr. Raghu, we are not very happy the kind of support services we are getting. We're trying to see how best we can bring about a change here. Reading rooms is one big bang project we have done this year. 100 reading rooms is a target, which I told the president when I took over as a vice president. I am driving this reading room project because in India, friends, many people from lower strata of society are joining the CA course. You heard about Prema Jaikumar, the daughter of an auto rickshaw driver. She got the first rank in CA final and she was, felicitated with the international conference. And when I went up to her and asked her, Prema, what motivated you to do CA? She said, my father was an auto rickshaw driver. I've seen him working from morning 5 o'clock, late 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I wanted to bring about a transformation in the family. When I told him it will cost 25,000 rupees, he asked me to go ahead. And today, I am having the first rank. I have offers from more than 100 corporates across the country. And she told me only one thing, Mr. Raghu, I'll be very happy if you can set up reading halls across the country. Friends, I come from the southern region. In southern region, we have a lot of reading rooms in all the branches. But when I went to eastern region, when I went to central region, northern region, absolutely no reading halls. And many students who come from poor backgrounds do not have the facility at home to study. We are doing a project of 100 reading halls. We've already done 30. Maybe by the time I lay down office, we'll be able to do that. And we're coming out with a lot of, students portal, members, international conference. Next. So e-learning would be stepped up. We are also planning to look at a review of the training. We met Mr. Kumaramangalam Birla, one of the doyens of the profession, industrialist. He said, Mr. Raghu, your syllabus should be dynamic. It doesn't reflect the current trends changing around the globe. So we are setting up a committee to review the education and training. As I told you, we have 140 labs. And the plan is to set another 140 labs, high generation labs. Because today, if you want exposure to an ERP environment or a CBS environment or a cloud computing environment, you need to have, the next generation labs. Maybe in the next 1 or 2 years, you'll have 140 more labs being set up by the institute. Because friends, funds is not a problem for the institute. Luckily, we are one accounting regulator. We are having sufficient funds to do all this. And we are confident of doing this. These are all the certification courses. What is relevant for you directly, I'll tell you. The one on international taxation, forensic accounting, IFRS, valuation. These 4 courses are relevant for you. Straight away, I would like to tell you that these are all what is useful for you, because in India, almost everything is popular. Everything is popular. But concurrent audit on banks is so popular, it's sold out the day you announce it. Half an hour it's sold out, because the banks have made it mandatory now. Next. So what we have decided is, we have realized that our profession is moving to a specialization mode in India. Like in the medical profession and the engineering profession, our profession is getting to a specialization mode. Chartered accountants with IFRS, chartered accountants with international are required. So that is the reason why we have launched these courses. These post-qualification courses are also very much popular. Information systems audit is a big success in India. I would urge the members present here to see if they could take up this information systems course. We have a lot of ERP courses, and your chapters could take the lead in doing ERP courses for our members. We could conduct CAT courses. They're all very popular in India. All this will give you the additional new skill sets that will help you to scale up in your career. Next. So that's it. These are all what I've already covered. Next. 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 Accountancy museum is something which we have set up recently. About 30 accountancy museums is what we have said. Finally, friends, I think each one of us present here should try to do something to the society. I've been urging the chapters to do what we could do. We're conducting blood donation camps, tree plantation, health camps. That is when we get social recognition. Without contributing for society, I think we just focusing on the 4 walls, talking about IFRS, talking about international, that will not help. My request is that each one of you try to see how best you can contribute to the society, and if you're able to do it to the chapter, that will be the best way. And finally, what I would like to say that, yes, as an institute, we are extremely proactive. I would like to put all my energies at my command. We are devising a roadmap for the next year. Your suggestions are welcome. You can send a mail to me at vicepresident@ica.org. I'm on Facebook also. You can send your comments on Facebook, and we look forward for your contribution. And finally, each one of you present here should also decide, how can I contribute to the chapter activities here? Yes, we have Sanjay, who's putting in so much of hard work. The kind of effort what I've seen Sanjay doing for this, I should compliment. I think we should give him a big round of applause. My only request to you as the Vice President of the Institute is that you should introspect and see what is it I've done for the Institute. Yes, you have come to Bahrain, you've settled yourself in good careers, attracting good pay packages, but have you done anything to the Institute? If you feel, yes, you can contribute, please come to us. You can participate in research projects, you can write to the journal, you could be a part of the examination system, you could be a technical reviewer, you could be a peer reviewer. There's so many opportunities. Our chapter chairman would be able to, sort of involve you in whatever activity you would like. With these few words, friends, I can only say the profession is doing well, and we at the Institute are trying to see how best our professionals, whether they are in India or overseas, are given the right kind of support, and we are there to support you. Please feel free to write to us, and thanks to you, Sanjay, for having given an opportunity to just give you a flavor of the various opportunities available. At the same time, I thought I should use this opportunity to also tell you what we as an institute are trying to do overseas and also locally to drive the new opportunities. Thank you very much.